we are shifting the blame from the government to individuals.
Okay.
The landlord is not to be blamed. The agent is not to be blamed. If you want affordable housing, it is government's responsibility to provide affordable housing. It is not my responsibility. As a businessman, I want to make profit. If the government gives me cheap land and cheap loan, people will build cheap houses. Again, there is demand, there is supply. You want to live in Wuse, you want to live in Wuye, you want to live in Jabi. What happened to Kuje? What happened to Kurudu? Wike now is building road everywhere so that people can live according to their means. You don't have to stay in Wuse, you don't have to stay in Jahi. Go to Dede, Karishi, Kuje. If that's what you can afford, go there. Affordable houses there. You can't want to live in Wuse and not pay the value for Wuse. In every society, this is Abuja. Abuja is like the London of UK. Yeah, UK rent is not. London rent is not cheap. People live in suburb and commute like 1 hour with train to go to work in London.
Okay.
But you want to live close to your office and not pay the price. It is not done that way. And sorry, let me finish. I think it is daft for somebody to pay money to an agent. Nobody pays rent to an agent. You either pay to a company that manages the property or a caretaker that the landlord has introduced to you. You don't just meet somebody on maybe Gigi and you go and pay rent to him. That's being daft.
Okay,
so when people blame agents, I feel it's unfair.
Okay, thank you. He's one of those guys that we should avoid in our own generation to ever get to any seat of power, because Obina will create a place, a paradise for criminals and hellfire for the conscientious. Because you think you can separate the rich from the poor. You want the common man who will come and clean your toilet to go and stay in Kuje. You are talking about taking train to London. I'd like you and I to relocate to Kuje and come to town with the train tomorrow. Because every point you've made here is very, very capitalistic at the extreme. Like you have no humanity in mind with everything you have said. So the person who owns the property and rents it out, after you rent it out, does it still belong to you or it's gone? So you want to rent out your property and then you are acting as though you are losing when the value of the property still increases even after you lay off your tenants. Try and be fair-minded.
Okay. I don't think it's like overpriced.
Okay.
Because places like this is the capital of Nigeria, Abuja, and Nigeria. Just leave say one or two things don't happen. Nigeria has been the giant of Africa for a long time. A lot of people want to live in Abuja. So a whole lot of people want to live in Abuja. So when you see that the demand of a property is high, right, and the supply is limited, the available ones becomes the one that they raise the price. So imagine a one-bedroom apartment or a self-contained apartment, and you have over 100 persons coming to look for that same house, and all the people are willing to pay for this amount of money. That is the demand. So it is now in the place of the landlord to either increase or decrease, depending on what anybody that wants to get the apartment can get. Now, let's say you are getting a one-bedroom for 2.5 million naira or 3 million naira. That is less than $3,000, right? If you check out other countries like the UK, like the US, and other places,
Why will you compare Nigeria?
because it is a global economy and people are coming into the country.
If you compare Nigeria with UK and US,
Okay.
Nigeria is Nigeria. Well, how much is your minimum wage? Even your House of Rep members, if we are to even check them, their houses, we are supposed to lock them up. How do you even make that kind of money to go and buy a house of 3 billion, 4 billion? How much is your salary? Check how much. How can you make that kind of money even in 4 years or 8 years serving your country? This is where we know that these things are overpriced. If not because of stealing, if these people are not stealing, they cannot afford this stuff. So the people coming up like us, so what is left for us? What is left for us? Somebody that bought something for 3 billion in the next 10 years, so we will buy it for 30 billion with this minimum wage. So no, we need to tackle these things.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
There is something I want us to correct. It's a very wrong mindset, and it's one of the reasons why Nigeria and Africa is still backward. Thinking that government every time, and anytime I hear somebody say government, I used to look at the person as a mediocre. Because first and foremost, you are giving power to these people. forgetting that you and I are this government you are talking about.
God bless
So
you.
anytime you are saying that government should regulate this, government should do this, government should do that, who are these governments? Is it not you and I? Even if government is regulating, is it still not you and I that will get into that government, make another regulation, and another thing, there is what we call tight regulation and loose regulation. The only thing government can do in real estate is called loose regulation, not tight regulation. Because government cannot tell me that if I put billions of naira into real estate, you tell me that I should sell it for 1 million naira. Do you understand? But there can be a loose, like this brother said that, okay, if this house is of standard of 1 million naira, make it 1 million naira. Don't go above that. Don't cheat people. Don't manipulate people. The profit is in this business. Irrespective of the line, the chain of this business you are playing, there is huge profit. Too much. Do you understand? And we live in a capitalist society, which is not good for any human being. It's not good for us in Africa, just like my brother said. We have to be socialist. Housing should be a basic right of every human being. Are you happy somebody sleeping under the bridge? Are you happy somebody sleeping in the street? It doesn't make sense. Land that does not belong to anybody, you capitalize it, you turn it to gold. It doesn't make sense. So, and again, it's openers. Let me respond to Obina, please. This is very personal to me because part of what please let me answer him. You see, this business is a sweet business. The inflation you are talking about as an excuse, there is a way we calculate inflation. There is formula for this thing. It is not only in Nigeria that.
Let me tell you something. Real estate here is oversaturated, is overrated. It's the new oil and gas. We all know this. Everybody wants to make money. This is business. As you have now, if you sell a house today, won't you fight for your commission? Answer me, please.
Answer now. Answer the question.
Answer me. So why are you talking like this?
Speak to what
They are
I said,
different.
don't
They are-
speak to me.
oh,
Talk
they are-
to
you are
me.
my friend. You are my brother in the same business.
Answer the
But
question.
stop twisting people's head. They know. That's just it. We all know. So stop twisting it. You're telling me that if you want to stay in the city town,
So you're saying you're
wait,
selling
hold on,
your
just
value.
hold on. You're telling me that someone that wants to be living in Kuje, please let me ask you a question. First of all, you're comparing Nigeria with UK. How much is your minimum wage? Please tell me
According to your means.
Okay, why are you talking like the house
How
in
many
Kuje?
persons
Do you know how much a
many persons live in
two bedroom in Kuje goes for 2 million naira? Now, what are you saying? You don't even have the price list. You don't know all these things. You're acting.
For me, the agents are quite very difficult to deal with because I know that before a house owner can actually put a price, I've seen a house owner trying to put a price at a particular price, and the agents are telling them that no, you can get better than this just because of the percentage they are going to get. So, and even if you are paying for like 2 years rent, an agent is expected to be paid the same 2 years agency fee on that same percentage, which is very wrong. But overall, the problem is actually the government, because the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing are actually not doing anything about the works and the housing. Because now you are meant to create houses at a very low scheme for a common man to be able to afford it. But now they are creating housing schemes for those that can actually afford it. Before you know it, they will divide it to themselves. So if there is no competition, whereby the houses are being brought to the masses at a very cheaper level, the competition out there.
Most of these problems are on the government, because the government don't regulate these things. In other countries, everything is regulated. For example, he said that some hotels don't collect naira. How can you not collect naira in your country? It's wrong. So in other countries, they will sanction you for that reason, because you are not supposed to reject your own currency, right? So if in other like this estate and everything, if the government plays the right law to protect the people, then even those people, the businessmen dealing on it, cannot overpass those laws the government has placed. So everything still boils down on the government making the right law for the people to benefit from it. Thank you.